Eliza, thank you so much for your time. It's wonderful to see you.
Thank you. Nice to see you too.
So I have to ask, this story, it could be taken out of the religious background and be the same for a lot of people around the world. Was there
Mm.
something specific that you had to kind of go back though and kind of connect in any way to that religious background?
That's a good question. I think that, well, I didn't grow up very religious, but I went to a Christian school. So I'm aware somewhat of how the church operates, but not to this extreme. So, but I think that the church, or this fundamentalist church, served as a backdrop to kind of exacerbate or show an extreme version of what women experience in secular life, which is, shame, uh, from their, shame over their bodies. And yeah, I think it was an interesting storytelling tool.
I did find it interesting because I think me myself while watching, well, I know me myself while watching it, I was so kind of, trying to think about the story in that religious aspect that it
Yeah.
kind of surprised me. It wasn't until after the movie ended that I realized maybe what was going on more behind the scenes with her father. And even though he was not choosing the right way to do it, what he was actually trying to do with her in the same breath. Was
Mm.
that also, a relationship that you kind of had to delve into differently from what you expected when you first read the script compared to when you started shooting?
Yeah, I think we sort of, well, I think it was all there in the script, but it became a lot more, I guess, it was more severe experiencing it than reading it, I think.
Mm.
And yeah, I think they had a bit of a kindred connection, her and her dad. And he saw himself in her, and didn't want her to go down that same path. So he punished her for it.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's a, it was, I think it revealed another side of this story, which is that men also suffer under these patriarchal systems.
Which is very much this idea of, again, like not agreeing with the way he went about it, of course, but it's just like, if I could find a way where she doesn't have to love somebody, I'm going to save her from the hurt that I'm feeling now because of what a lot of people don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's really it's really true. And I think that it's a complicated relationship in the church, but as the film progresses, his past becomes a guiding light for her. And actually it helps her, break free.
Yeah. This is kind of the thing that please, I'm not gonna, this is going to sound weird when I say it. I don't like to kind of sound silly because it's not meant to be silly. But if I
Mm.
could talk about snot for a second with you.
Oh no.
Well, because at first, when it first happens, it's like, oh, it's normal, But when it happens again later on, I'm like, was this something that was discussed? We want to show it, or are you just that good that all of a sudden, like, you got that feelings that emotional that was coming out of
Yeah,
you?
maybe it was hay fever. I don't know, but the snot was coming out for sure. No, it was not planned, but thanks a lot, Laurel, for putting both of them in the.
Yeah, I don't. I think it's a great thing personally because it's real.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely real. It's not fake snot.
What about again also because look, I'm not against the idea of somebody who's maybe a little older playing somebody a little younger, but because you have passed that age, is there a little bit of having to feeling to get back into that situation? Or again, it's what is happening to her that all that matters. It doesn't matter about what the age is.
Yeah, I think that when you're that age, you don't think that you're young. You think that you know everything. And Jem doesn't realize just how much she doesn't know
Yeah.
when she's getting this relationship with Owen. And that's what makes this relationship inappropriate. It's that, people can have relationships with an age difference, but when it's someone as young as Jem who doesn't understand the consequences of her actions and, the various ways that Owen manipulates her, even when she feels like she has agency in the relationship, she is, it is a dangerous kind of power dynamic.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.